And I love the idea of the film industry being, not having this language barrier and it not being a problem. As an actor, yes, there is a difficulty. No, you cannot need every audition. You're going to be very bad in a lot of auditions. It's okay. It's really important to know and understand that that's all right. I've had a lot of very bad auditions. So many times I've told you, sit up, sit straight, stop hunching. मतलब वही सुनने को मिलता है, कुछ अलग अभी we have यार, we've got 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 2 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new episode of Be Podcaster. In this episode, we have a very talented Bollywood actress, Miss Avantika Dasani, with us. In this episode, we will be talking about her life, her previous and some upcoming movies, and some very interesting things about her. So let's get started. Hi, Avantika ji. Thank you so much for coming to our podcast.
Thank you. It's lovely being here.
How are you today?
Good. I have one off day and I am flooded with interviews, but it's exciting. It's a very interesting time in my career, and I'm just happy to be here, be part of it all.
Of course. So, how many interviews since today morning?
Seventh one now.
Oh my god. So, you must be very tired right now, right?
Yes, but we will make it through.
Of course. So, are you enjoying in Lucknow?
Yes, I'm having a really nice time.
So, how is your shoot and everything is going?
शूट बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है और मैं आपको जैसे बता रही थी कि देर इज़ नो शूट दैट इज़ नॉट हेक्टिक. दिस इज समथिंग आई रियलाइज इन माई शॉर्ट टाइम. बट इफ द पीपल दैट यू आर वर्किंग विद आर नाइस, इफ वॉट यू आर वर्किंग इन यू बिलीव इन एंड यू आर एक्साइटेड टू शो अप फॉर वर्क एवरी डे, देन सब चल जाएगा. यू नो यू विल टेक इट. यू विल बी लाइक हाँ ऐसे कर लेंगे, ट्राई कर लेंगे, कुछ ना कुछ करके we'll figure it out. But I think one of the main important things is that you have faith in the people that you work with. They really give you that energy to sort of make it through a lot of difficulties.
So, सबसे ज्यादा enjoy किसके साथ काम करने के बाद करते हो आप?
ऐसे मत बोलो यार, बच्चे की जान लोगे क्या?
Of course not.
I can't say that. Yeah, I've worked with
Okay, so you enjoy working.
yeah, I've been working with some great people, whether it was Huma and Paramrata and Rajitso on my first, or whether it was Samudrakini in my Telugu film, or it was, Javed sir in this, and obviously Vivan and Ishtiyaq sir. Yeah, fab.
So, your first movie was Telugu, right?
That's my first Telugu film that's going to be releasing on the 2nd of June. This is my first Hindi film.
Oh my god. So, how did you land it to your first Telugu film?
How did I land my first Telugu film? It was an interesting topic that was brought about, and there were a couple of narrations that I had sat through, but this was the one that sort of struck a chord with me because it's a story of two college, kids that sort of experience life, and it's a thriller. So the idea of having this combination of a thriller that every time they brought in something new, where I was just like, अच्छा story इसके बारे में, अच्छा नहीं स्टोरी इसके बारे में, अच्छा ये है, तो just there was something that kept me excited throughout. And then the idea of having all of it being a thriller but still being something that all college going kids can relate to was something that I was like, okay, तेलुगु में अगर करना है तो ऐसे करेंगे.
Okay, so language barrier आ रही है?
हाँ बहुत. I won't lie, it is not easy at all. I think that is, as much as I encourage and I love the idea of the film industry being, not having this language barrier and it not being a problem. As an actor, yes, there is a difficulty because I have also come to realize this, that there is so much weightage even as a character that you feel with emotions. Because in workshop हमें बोला गया था बहुत बार कि कभी कभी मतलब स्क्रिप्ट अच्छा है पर स्क्रीन प्ले अच्छा नहीं होगा या डायलॉग्स अच्छे नहीं होंगे, but you have to feel the emotion of whatever you feel, and you have to work it around that. But words do carry a lot of weight, and when you do have bit of understanding issue, it It is hard. It is hard. I won't lie.
Did you learn acting or is it in your blood from your mother?
खून में तो ऐसे कुछ होने ही नहीं यार. You have to, it's a craft. You have to work on it. You have to practice it. You have to learn it. Just like you do with any other craft.
True that. So, tell us a bit about your early life, like before you entered into this movie industry.
So I've studied in Cass Business School in London. I've studied business and marketing. I've worked. I've been interning since I was 16 every summer. A variety of different places to kind of figure out what it is that I like to do, what kind of work I would like to do, what it is like to work in different industries, and also भाई सीवी को अच्छी बनानी है ना. दैट्स तो कॉलेज अच्छी जानी होगी तो बनाना पड़ता है, ये सब करना पड़ता है.
तो पहले आपने मतलब एक्टिंग के लाइन में आना चाह रहे थे या फिर यू वांटेड टू गेट इनटू कॉर्पोरेट और समथिंग?
ये सब किया मैंने. इफ आई वाज that wasn't the case. I really wanted, I was a good business student. Believe I still have a decent keen eye on those things. I loved economics, and that was something that I really enjoyed doing. I also really loved anything creative in the performative space in school. I would, मतलब वो क्लास में आता है ना कि अच्छा एलिक्यूशन कंपटीशन है, डांस कंपटीशन है, रेज योर हैंड्स कौन कौन, तो मेरे हाथ ऊपर आने से पहले टीचर में नाम लिख देते. हाँ, अवंतिका एंड हु एल्स. मतलब इट यूज्ड टू बी लाइक दैट बिकॉज दैट्स हाउ मच आई रियली जस्ट एंजॉयड टेकिंग पार्ट इन थिंग्स. इट वाज आल्सो अ ग्रेट एक्सक्यूज टू मिस क्लास. यू नो, मतलब अब क्लास बंक करने का valid bahana was this.
And teachers also appreciate that. Like they will not
course,
even
yeah.
tell कि you are not coming to class or something.
अभी स्कूल रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हो या अपने हाउस को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हो तो क्या करें.
True. So, tell us a bit about your this movie, You Turn Ki Gali.
U Shape Ki Gali is it's a very sweet story. Our writer Purnavasu has written this beautiful screenplay based on 3 stories from his grandfather. It is fictional, but there is so much reality in it. There's so much love in it. There's so much of relatability in it that everyone, as an Indian today, will be able to see and understand what we're talking about.
So, what are your expectations from this movie?
I don't have expectations post my shoot. My job my job is that of an actor. My expectation is when I read a script, I like a script, I see the people that I get an opportunity to work with. When I go for an audition, it's about understanding the character. जो ऑडिशन में उन लोग गाइडलाइंस देते हैं, उन आप जितना हो सके उनको समझिए, and to perform just as it is right now. My job as an actor is to work on my character before, to show up every single day and perform between action and cut. उसके बाद जो हो सो हो.
So, your mom is also very beautiful and talented actress. So, when you were a kid, what was your opinion about her?
माँ तो माँ होती है, क्या opinion?
No, not on a ma, but like.
But that's what I mean. At the end of the day, she's my mother. No, I do not think of her as Bhagyashree the actress. I always saw her as Mama. That's what it is. And I think it was later in life, once you start becoming slightly older, you start understanding. हम लोग जब holidays पे जाते थे, and you know, wherever in the world we were, people would recognize her, would be so ecstatic to see her, would sort of come up and tell us stories and, you know, say कि पहली फिल्म थी जो मैंने थिएटर में देखी, मेरी पहली डेट थी, या this was the first crush I had on screen or something or the other, which was lovely. And then you start realizing that my mama has this kind of an impact all across the world for something that I wasn't even born when it happened. And so many years later, whether it's that, whether it's the other projects she's done, she has had such an immense impact on people around the globe for years and generations that it's overwhelming and it's exciting. But माँ माँ होती है. So I
तो माँ होती है एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, आपको भी डांट लगती होगी।
बस बहुत सो जा टाइम से, तो पानी नहीं पीती है, ये इसलिए होता है, यू नॉट ईटिंग योर वेजिटेबल्स, व्हाट इज रॉन्ग विथ यू, सो मेनी टाइम्स आई टोल्ड यू सिट अप, सिट स्ट्रेट, स्टॉप स्टॉप हंचिंग, मतलब वही सुनने को मिलता है, कुछ अलग
कभी सुबह उठने के लिए या कभी कुछ।
बहुत। अभी तो मैं ठीक ठाक हो गई।
सो यू आर अर्ली बर्ड और
आई एम वॉट एवर द कॉल टाइम रिक्वायर्स मी टू बी।
ओह दैट मीन्स अगर 10 बजे की शूट है तो you'll
अभी वी हैव यार, वीव गॉट 5 AM to 5 PM, 6 AM to 6 PM, 2 AM to 2 PM, तो आपको जब बुलाया जाए, बस बुलावा आता है, बस वही है।
ग्रेट। सो कभी लाइक बीइंग अ स्टार किड, कभी आपकी लाइफ डिफरेंट, मतलब आपके क्लास वाले जितने लोग होंगे और जो जिनके साथ आप होंगे अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ, तो उनसे लाइफ आपकी डिफरेंट होगी, तो एनी काइंड ऑफ डिफरेंसेस व्हिच यू गिव अप नो? कोई डिफरेंस नहीं?
My family made it a point to make sure that we, uh, I don't like using this word, but the idea is normal. I don't understand what is not normal. Everyone has their own normal, but was to keep us away from the limelight. The school that I went to had a lot of other so-called star kids as well, and everyone, and it was a very mixed background of students that would come to our school. So there was an Alia Bhatt in my school who was my senior. Yeah, there was Sunny and Bobby Deol who were around the same time as my parents. Both my parents went to my school. There's a bunch of other people as well. My brother obviously was in my school. There was Anmol Thakaria Dylan who was in my school, and I list will go on, right? So there were a lot of people who were my seniors, and we all lived a very normal life per se. वो जो star kid बोलते हैं, I mean, I was, they, my parents made it a very important point, which for me was just normal, right? Is you have to live a normal life. There's, what am I supposed to get the exception to the rule for?
सो नाउ जब आपकी एक मूवी अभी आई है, वेब सीरीज भी पहले भी आपकी
आई मूवी अभी तक आई नहीं है।
मतलब आने वाली है ऑफ कोर्स, तो मीडिया में तो ऑलरेडी है ही है, राइट? तो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ डिफरेंसेस यू आर सीइंग लाइक व्हेन यू गो आउट और समवेयर, सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ डिफरेंसेस व्हिच यू आर कमिंग?
I think there definitely are some random sweet incidents that happened when I was flying. I don't remember where I was flying somewhere, and at the airport कि मैं कुछ खरीद रही थी, and someone comes up to me and says, अब वो हो ना? मैं देख रही हूँ,
कि मैं कौन हूँ?
हाँ मैंने आपको देखा है। तो मैं ऐसे कर दी थी, तो नहीं आपने वो शो किया ना, वो अब बहुत डरावनी लग रही थी।
ओह माय गॉड।
तो आए तो मेरे मुंह पे इतना बड़ा स्माइल आ गया, बिकॉज आई लव इट, आई लव द आइडिया दैट समवन रिकॉग्नाइजेस मी फॉर माय वर्क एंड जस्ट दैट, एंड दे कुडंट बिलीव इट, दे सो कि अरे आप तो अलग लगती हो यार,
डरावनी नहीं लगती?
हाँ अब आप स्वीट हो। तो आई वाज लाइक हाँ वो कैरेक्टर था, मैं वैसी नहीं हूँ, पर थैंक यू वेरी मच, आप देखने के लिए थैंक यू। सो दैट वाज अ quite a sweet incident that happened, I think. And there were these two brothers that they were, both of them were like, अरे वो देखा था ना वो हम लोग, अरे इनको मैंने फ्राइडे को ही दिखाया था, पूरा शो ने रात भर देखा, अरे हाँ ऐसे वो। तो that was very sweet. So small things like that, but it's as an actor, what's the lovely aspect is that I have a lovely reel with incredible co-actors and a DOP that was fabulous, a director like Rohan Sippy, Shisho Das, my DOP, Uma Paramata, all of these people that I were enablers of my talent, or enablers of showcasing my ability in a very confined manner. Because actually even this film, people say like, it's cinema 40 दिन and this and that, मेरे को कुछ ऐसा टाइम नहीं मिला है, whether it was my show or this movie, we are doing everything on like record time. So the advantage is that you have something to show producers and directors and saying कि हमने थोड़ा काम किया है, प्लीज आप देखिएगा, और फिर and then they are really excited because It's not what anyone expected me.
Do you go for auditions?
Of course.
So, like any audition experiences which you would like to share?
I mean, there are so many. Like, I've given. So, the idea, right? People think that, oh, you have to nail every audition. No, you cannot nail every audition. You're going to be very bad in a lot of auditions. It's okay. It's really important to know and understand that that's all right. I've had a lot of very bad auditions, बट लकीली इट्स ऑल्सो बिन अ सिचुएशन कि अगर एक कास्टिंग डायरेक्टर के साथ एक बहुत गंदा ऑडिशन गया और एक अच्छा ऑडिशन गया, सो दे नो दैट that character wasn't for me, or I was having an off day, or something or the other. They didn't judge me per se as an actor and say कि इसको वापस chance नहीं देंगे, because they've seen other things of mine, they've seen other work of mine, to turn around and say that, or with the casting directors, they know that whether they have workshops or people they know have workshops. I'm someone who really likes to work on my craft, and they are well aware about that, because they keep asking me, अच्छा कौन सा वर्कशॉप किया, किधर गई, कैसा था, they are very aware about the fact that I do that, because also after years of doing this you have that friendship that forms, um, or a good working relationship where they understand that there's you're someone who's willing to work hard.
So currently you are working with Javed ji also, na? Javed sir you are working with. So like how is your experience going with him?
Lovely. He's in very interesting incident that happened with him was, लखनऊ में बारिश हो रही थी एंड इट वाज समथिंग दैट नो वन एक्सपेक्टेड एट ऑल. तो हमारा जो आउटडोर का शूट था, दे हैड प्लान कि जितना हो सके लीनियर करेंगे. तो जैसे बारिश हो गई वो सारे प्लान्स चॉप आउट हो गए, बिकॉज वी हैड टू मूव टू सीन्स दैट वर, आई थिंक, post the interval, was shot on the very first day. They're some of the most emotional scenes that I have in the film, with Javed sir, and it was so fabulous that we had this instant bond and chemistry that's required for us as characters in the film in the very first two scenes that we both shot together, and that he's so talented. He's done this for years, but he loves to rehearse. So I was overwhelmed because I was like, yes, I love that. I love the actor who's ready for a give and take and who's ready to put in that kind of effort. So, even at his age, at everything, he has so much energy. He has incredible energy.
So tell us something about your future plans, like any movies which is like other than You Shape Ki Gali, if anything, any other project is coming up.
We will start shooting for Mithya 2 very soon, so I am very excited about that.
Wow. So like in season 2 also you are playing the role.
Of Ria, yes. Who else can play the role of Ria?
Yeah, and no one can do that better than you, of course.
I can't be that arrogant yet. I'm sorry.
No, it's not about arrogance. It's just that you did that very perfectly, right? So you know and you understand that particular character.
Yes, thank you. I've made her mine.
Yeah. So it's just so when it comes to choosing any sort of character, when any script comes to you or any auditions which you're going to do, so कैसे finalize करते हो आप कि हाँ ये character I can go for?
That's a hard one. I think so. When you audition, I think for me at least, when I audition, it's you get a handful of information. कि you'll get कि ये storyline है, ये director है, ये producer है. If that sounds interesting to you, then you go for it. Once you get shortlisted, selected, or if a story comes for you when a director or a producer have you in mind. For me, it's about understanding the whole package. Ki character, for now, this is something that I look forward to, is that either me as a character goes through a sort of arc, or there's something that happens to me which creates a change within me, or I as a character create a change within the plot. So those are the one of two things that I'm usually looking for within a story. And very importantly, who are the people that I get to work with, and is this the kind of story that would intrigue me? Not every story needs to have a message. It can be entertainment. That is what cinema, that is what films and web series are about. It's not everything doesn't have to teach you something. I think audiences and people don't always need to be told. You can just have fun.
uh, corporate and you were working there. So how did you decided कि अब मुझे acting में जाना है?
I, like I said, I've had a bit of a creative bound in me always. I've loved performing, I've loved all of that. There's a part of me, I think, that always kind of wanted to, but I was very hesitant because everything that comes with this world is painful. Not everything, but there is a lot of heartbreak, as my mother would always say, ki on screen, off screen, whether you like it or not, whether you're immensely successful or not, there is a lot of heartbreak that you cannot do anything about, which other industries per se or a 9 to 5 may not have as much. So it's something that did scare me. Um, so I shied away from it. I didn't dive too much into it, and I started working in the corporate space. I did a lot of stuff, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't very convinced about what I was doing. I wasn't enjoying, and I'm someone who has to be passionate about whatever I do. I will give my 155,000% if I'm passionate about it, and if I'm not, I play to stay out. And I was in the whole I need to figure out what I want to do. My brother saw me and he's like, why don't we go for a couple of these courses? Even if you don't want to be an actor, they will help you understand yourself better and understand what you would like to do. And I used to keep hearing his story about when he was ADing, and I was just get very excited. And I would hear my mom's stories, and I would get excited. And I saw a change in the kind of stories in cinema that we were seeing, which we didn't grow up. When we were growing up, women had little to do. That's the other thing that I didn't like. But we also saw a large change, whether it was internationally or in Indian cinema. Women had it was opening up a lot more. And then I went for the workshop, and within 3 days, I fell in love. I was in love with the craft, and I literally said कि अगर मुझे ये काम करने के पैसे मिलेंगे तो मतलब wow. So I was just like, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be.
So when you decided that you want to act, so what was the reaction of your mom?
She was scared and she was worried. But she also understood because after I would come back from the workshops, it would be exhausting long days and I would be really tired. But I had like a twinkle in my eye, and she would say that you really love this, don't you? And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, then understand you're going to have to give your life to it, and be willing to put in everything you have.
So what is the best thing which you have learned from your mom? Although you have learned everything, like every kid learned from their moms, but one thing which you're like,
The one thing that I think that I learned from my mom and I continue to learn is her strength and her resilience as a person. She has overcome so much in her life with such a beautiful smile on her face that nobody knows anything about. Um, and she has the ability to sort of do that constantly. And it's something that I have learned by watching her, which is what I love more than anyone trying to tell me anything. It's something that I've seen her do. So lead by example, and she has really given me example of what it is to be a strong woman.
true, and she is.
Definitely is.
Of course. So one advice which you would like to give to any person who wants to get into acting.
Whether you want to get into acting or whether it is any form of a craft or art or creative process, find your voice and understand that your voice is not something that stays constant. It will change and evolve with you as you grow as an individual. Um, and hold on to that voice. Work hard to hone it, to love it, to embrace it, and be true to it always.
Sure. So that was wonderful talking to you, and thank you so.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.